Oh. Hello, and welcome to this week's Monday morning musing. It's absolutely pissing it down. I mean, it's been raining really bad all night. So, oh dear me, I'm amazed. It's raining that much. I'm amazed I'm not flooded again. But anyway, this week's musing. Well, there isn't really a great deal of difference this week from what I did last week. I've carried on mixing it up with my Napoleonic thingies and Warhammer. Although this week I've mainly been doing goblins because Graham Collins sent me a couple of boxes of the old 1990s goblins. So I painted them up, as you will have seen on last week's Paint a Day with British Legion. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you go and watch both of them. There's one on British Legion's channel and one on mine. So go and have a look at them. I have made quite a discovery. If you remember, I was doing I put that thing up, didn't I, about, you know, I've got some elves that I want to swap for some goblins, if anyone's got any goblins, which I still do. And I was contacted by somebody, and I was hunting out some other stuff that I was willing to trade. So I've done a trade, but while I was doing that, I found this. It's a Forge World Venerable Dreadnought. I'd seriously forgotten I'd got this. So that's one of my dreadnoughts sorted for my Dark Angels. So that's cool. I've also found somewhere to get more of the Terminator squads from the Dark Vengeance box set. So I'm going to buy a couple of them. If they're still available by the time I've got the money. So I'm going to get some of them. And yeah, so that project will be coming underway. I might actually paint this in the next few days, or at least start to build it and clean it up. Because yeah, I need to get, like I say, I need to get that done. I'm doing my goblins. I'm quite captured by the goblins. I haven't painted any orc or goblin armies since probably the late 90s, to be honest. And as I said, I got rid of them all. I gave them to my middle son's high school Warhammer club. All of my orc and goblin army. About 8 years ago. So I haven't got any at all. So I don't think they've got any at all, because I believe that they've all been pilfered over the years, as happens. So there you go. So yeah, I'm getting on with them. Obviously, the meta project of the Napoleonics is going on in the background. I'm only telling you that because I know that Sergeant Tristan will say, but what about this? So I have to get over to him that just because I'm not filming stuff doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So the idea is, I've taken people's advice on the Napoleonics. Some of the long in the tooth people like Von Ketteringham, and they're not so long in the tooth like Pancakey, have said, you know, treat it. Don't try and do it all at once. Just treat it as one of those big meta lifelong projects that you're going to do, and just do a few. You know, just in the background, just do bits and pieces as you're going along. You know, battalion at a time. You know, don't try and paint a whole army at once, because they're huge armies. And to be honest, it's a good plan. That's what I'm doing. I just have them there when, you know, when I've got 5 minutes, I'll just do a little bit on them and build them up like that. And then these little projects like the goblins, because I don't want an orc arm. I don't want orcs. I just goblins. with a giant. Because obviously you've got to have a giant, haven't you? I mean, you know, you can't have a decent orc or goblin army without a giant, because you need something to really screw up your plans, don't you? So I need to get a giant as well. So there's them. Obviously, I've got a few Empire state troops to finish painting. I think I've got another 8 of those to do. I've got some, obviously I've got my dwarves that I want to get done. I'm going to work through doing the war machines that Graham sent up the other week over the next few months. See, there's no great urgency, you see, with the Warhammer armies. It's just a case of I just want to get back to building them all up into a playable size, basically. So once again, there's no definite aim. So there's no definite aim for anything in mind that I'm doing at the moment, apart from the 40k Dark Angels sort of force that I've got to get together to fight my eldest son's Tyranids. But once again, there's no date on that at all. It's not, you know what I mean? So I'm a bit aimless from a target point of view, but that doesn't matter. I'm just enjoying myself, just painting along, not doing much in the way of anything other than just painting along, passing the time. And that's about it, really. I would say, if there's anybody that wants to listen to a good discussion on painting and stuff, not necessarily people that have got years and years of experience, but if you're looking around, if you're one of these people that watch YouTube to get help and ideas, go and have a look at the video that Christy put up yesterday. That's War Games, Soldiers and Strategy. She's done quite a good intro video on the stuff that you need. It's a good discussion on the various types of paints and stuff on that. So go and have a look at that. That's quite an interesting video to watch. It's an hour long though, so I suggest that you sit back, kick back and relax. Because she's a bit full on as Christy, sorry. So there you go, watch that. The other thing I want to talk about is that if you did watch the Paint of the Day the other day, you'll have noticed that I was talking about fluff and the fluff for the goblins. It's probably, those people that know me probably and know Warhammer have probably worked out that the state troops in red and white, I said that they were themed for Napoleonics, but they're actually Tabelheim. And Tabelheim is one of the central regions in the Old World Empire, and it sort of sits above Reichland, next to Middenland. It's heavily forested. It's quite a. It's not a really. I don't think it's a really popular place to have armies, because it's a bit boring. But anyway, these lot are Tabelheim state troops, and if you remember, I was painting up the Talbotland handgunners and other units, archers and things, because basically I'm moving from Middenheim to sort of that, so I'm going to still have some Middenheim troops. But the fluff is that there's a couple of, since the sort of goings on in Sylvania and the rise of the vampire counts and all the troubles in the east, these gobbos have moved over and they needed to do some stuff, and they've settled themselves down in the Barren Hills, you see, and they're raiding riverboats. So they're not actually raiding the boats because they don't like water, but the camps, when they camp at night, they go in and raid it, right? So they're sort of living up that. And the idea is that the Tabelheim troops and the Talbotland troops are at some point going to have sort of a running battle with these fellas. So that's my fluff. Now, the reason I mention it is because I find fluff painting fluffy armies for fantasy really useful, because what it does for you is it helps you not only with the colour schemes but also the whole construction of your army, because you can, you know, when you're doing historic wargaming, you don't have that problem, because, for example, you know, the siege of Sebastopol happened, you know, the Normandy landings happened, the Somme happened, you know, Waterloo happened. Those events actually physically happened in the real world, so you have the fluff for them, and that fluff is history. So you know, you have all the history of it, so you don't need to worry about stuff like that. But when you're painting fantasy armies or science fiction armies or whatever, you don't have that. You don't have that history, so you have to make it up. So what I tend to do when I'm putting an army together is I'll have a look at the general, you know, fluff trails that are going along, what miniatures I've got. In this case, the goblins, I haven't got any. But I create the fluff before I start the army. That way, it gives me something. It gives me a definite aim in mind. So this warband of goblins are a migrant raiding party that live in the hills, that raid the traffic between Altdorf and Tabelheim. So that's why they are painted in that. That's why they're going to be painted in these Tabelbeckland colours, Tabelheim colours, and Altdorf colours. That's just the goblins, the night goblins, because the night goblins are a bit pure. They're a bit sort of culturally focused on goblin culture. They'll still be in their black cowls or midnight blue cowls or whatever, the dark cowls, and live underground a lot and not sort of venture out into the daylight and things. So yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun writing the histories, I find, for fantasy armies. I'm coming up with characters and stuff. I mean, somebody, I can't remember who it was, and I really apologise, sent me a Grand de Ponche miniature, and he's going to be the leader of these. In fact, I'm just building him up here. Oops. You know, so here's Grom. So he's been cleaned up. I'm building him a base. I don't know whether you can see that. I'm just first sculptures of a mushroom head, and he will be standing. Let me get in the right way around. He's actually standing on this mushroom, and obviously there's a stalk under it, so he's sort of stalks coming out like so, and he'll be on this, and there'll be other little mushrooms and stuff around him. This is almost ready for carving and sculpting now. It's just about hardly off, so I'll be doing that because I can, and you know, so I'll just get on with that, and that's a fun project for me. The goblins, not a serious army. What else? Anything else? No, I can't think of anything else to muse about. I think I've probably wasted enough of your time now, so yeah, I'll get on with my day. I've got my work meeting to do now, and my working day. That's about it, really. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks very much for watching, and hope you painted a bit of stuff, and I'll catch you next week. Bye!